Hello everyone, welcome to Super Spectrum. I'm Bear Truth. Today I'm reviewing The Killing by Stanley Kubrick. It's our third episode of this series we're doing where we go through all of Stanley Kubrick's movies and line them up with the zodiac signs that are respective to their chronological order. This film corresponds with Gemini, and I know that some of you might be saying, well, there's 13 films that Stanley Kubrick directed and wrote, um, but he didn't edit Spartacus, and that was more of a director for hire job. And if we exclude that film, he actually only did 12 films that he had full control over. And so we're just going to be reviewing them and assigning them to the corresponding zodiac signs. Today we'll be doing The Killing, and this is the Gemini film. So here are my notes. The film's horse race is symbolic of human nature. Hold up. The film's horse race is symbolic of the human nature to compete with one another. These ambitions are often what get us into trouble, like the main character in Killer's Kiss points out in the beginning of that film. The Lieutenant Corby character in Fear and Desire is also pensive about goals and objectives in his life, and goes as far as to almost stop himself from having any, which may actually be wise. I think Stanley Kubrick shows the reason for why great ambitions can be a fool's errand with the main character of The Killing, Johnny Clay, who at the end of the film points out that there's no difference in him trying to get ahead or not. There's a great breakdown of this apathetic and pessimistic message of the film by the YouTuber Empire of the Mind. So I'll just let you watch his video called Stanley Kubrick's Symbolic Cosmos, the Hidden Meaning Behind the Killing for more on that. But I will add in this review that I think I am the first person, at least on YouTube, to point out that these similar sentiments on competition and human will in Kubrick's prior film, or were present in Kubrick's prior film, Killer's Kiss. Watch my video review of that film to see how I point out the film's more optimistic message around the potential good that could come out of trying. I think Kubrick, knowing that all things come from our individual willpower, made him decide to make willpower the subject of his films. To quickly add to the conversation around this film, though, I'll point out that I think Stanley specifically chose to make this film to help him will the rest of his career into existence, even though he was barred from being the film cinematographer by the Hollywood Union, which was something he had previously done on both his previous non-union films. Thinking ahead like a Gemini, and knowing that he could undermine and outsmart the cinematographer anyways, he was successfully able to keep his own signature style of using wide-angle lenses and tracking shots. All of Kubrick's signature philosophical dialogue made the cut as well, although I do think there's something a bit off about the delivery of the individuality monologue given by the Maurice character in the film. But I don't know how I'd ask him to better it if I was the director myself, and I'm just glad its ideas made it in. The real problem might be that the scene feels out of place and his remarks random in the context of that part of the film. But I'll be honest, I won't be running back to check because this film felt a bit slow for me. I think Kubrick would go on to deliver similar ideas more subtly and smoothly later on. His decision to touch on such heavy ideas through a character's dialogue was probably down to budget restraints and thus limitations on what could be shown through the film's plot. All in all, I still give it a 10 because of its great execution, otherwise, and for containing my preferred themes of storytelling, those of which can luckily be found in the film's subtext, or those of which can mostly be found, luckily, in the film's subtext, not always in its dialogue. But like I said before, go watch Empire of the Mind's breakdown of the film for more on that. Because I can't think of much more to add on the subject. So yeah, go watch his breakdown. I can't add much to this film's discussion, I don't think. Moving on, I hope to be joined again by my friend in the next video, or by my friends in the next video. And I bet Stanley will continue to blow my socks off with his fourth film that he wrote, directed, and edited as well. Join Super Spectrum once again next time in Cancer Season for our review of Paths of Glory. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now. And really quick before I cut it, because I thought about this while reading the review out for you guys. The film's like it being very smart and delivering that dialogue straightforwardly and delivering its message of individuality straightforwardly like it did, I think has to partially do with it being his Gemini film. The film Aries also did that, deliver it directly in dialogue. And now that I'm thinking about it, so did Killer's Kiss, but Killer's Kiss hardly focused on it, and it was I think it was more subtly. Yeah, his first film, Fear and Desire, like I said, in this film, kind of do it more in your face and kind of in that, I think like that masculine, which the Aries and the Gemini film are more masculine. They're going to be more projective and asserting their dominance and their will, like this movie's kind of about, and be more obviously about those things because they're asserting it so directly. So yeah, and it's like yeah, it's like sometimes I think the masculine signs, kind of need that or do that because they're more see it and I'll believe it type of people, like that masculine energy. I notice the day signs tend to be more that way as well. The day sign of the side of the zodiac being the first six, the night sign, being the more subconscious and subtle side, and subtle energy, side, with the night where you can't see anything. Going back to that point of the day and the night side, another proof, if I haven't brought this up before, I was thinking about it earlier again today, but if I haven't brought this up before, or excuse me if I have, but I think it shows this fact I'm about to tell you shows that Stanley was thinking about how he ordered his films and he meticulously released them, not only through matching them with the zodiac, which I totally think he did, especially because, like I said in the Fear and Desire review, he's blatantly talking about the zodiac signs. Well, it's not so blatant, but it's I don't really imagine how else you could interpret the crazy character's dialogue talking about the general. First I was the general, and now I'm the fish. So I think this was in his mind, the zodiac, but also in his mind was the day and the night side, because the day side, his first six films, or the first six zodiac signs, are all black and white. And the second, or the 7 through 12 film, those are all in color. And yeah, no, of course, they were also filmed probably around, the time when that transition happened, but there were Technicolor movies in the 30s, and I'm not sure if Spartacus was even black and white No, it wasn't black and white, and I think it was probably made before Doctor Strangelove, which was his last black and white film. Even though I know, yes, that was a higher budget, more Hollywood film probably, but anyways, he did probably have the ability to make them in color, but I think he chose not to because of this half and half thing. Symmetry is something he focused on a lot in his films as well. And yeah, I think that's about all I want to say. Oh, another thing I want to compare is that this review was quite Gemini. My review, the notes at least, were quite Gemini in the way that they were very logical and reason based, where although I'm drawing on like symbolism, I think like it was the review that was the most just me reading off of my notes and being more like less, more consciously reasoned out and less intuitively channeled the review. So, because I was really just reading from a script this time. Anyways, I had to get jiggy with it. I had to get woo woo with it. Or, I do that. That's me. You don't like it? Ain't changing anytime soon. Sorry about that. But no, I'm not. But yeah, Geminis are awesome. What else before we go? Anything? Do I have any commenters? No. Oh, another thing I was thinking about is Stanley Kubrick, is he could be a stand-in for all of the main characters of his films. And in that way, he's a twin, a Gemini twin with his main characters. And like I was saying before, Fear and Desire, he's also that in all of his films. But that's about it, guys. My twin got home just now. Speaking of twins, brother, closest thing I have to a twin, my brother, share the same genetic code. And I'm going to say hi to him and bye to you guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Good night. Hope to have him on another review soon. Going to get back into the movie reviews. Real quick before we go, Disclosure Day, great film. 9 out of 10. Would have given it a 10 if it was more my type of film. Watch The Box for the real Disclosure Day. It'll be by Richard Kelly. That's my 10 out of 10 Disclosure Day film. And what else do we have here? Oh, Toy Story 5 was good. We missed David. David was a long time ago. I saw that. That was great. I should have reviewed, or I don't know. Here's the thing. I didn't review that, and I haven't reviewed a lot of films is because I don't feel like I could have added much to what I haven't already said, and I don't want to have this channel be so cluttered with videos and diminish the average of the quality for that reason. So that if I don't release too much and I only release bangers, then any video you watch is a banger, and I'm not always repeating myself. That being said, I don't want to make this one too drawn out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and goodbye.